Today I'm sitting down with Heather and Jesse from the Lone Canary. They've been playing together as a band for about 12 years. They've been musicians for almost their whole lives. They are an amazing band. You need to check them out. We're going to perform 2 songs after this, 13 and Dime Store Horses, which is off, both of them off a new album that just came out in 2025. Their harmonies are amazing. Their musicianship's amazing. The playing's amazing. Here's the interview. Check it out. All right. Heather, Jesse.
Hey.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah. Thanks
for
for having
having us.
How are you doing?
Great.
Great?
Yeah. This is a fun time.
January.
Yeah.
Nice and cold.
Coldest day of the year tomorrow. We're excited.
The Lone Canary. So I got to ask, just to start, why don't you introduce yourself for the camera?
Yeah. I am Jesse Fox.
I'm Heather.
What's your last
Camacho.
name? There it is. Okay.
And
Heather
you
Camacho.
are?
The Lone Canary.
The Lone Canary.
That's us.
That was very in sync.
We practice constantly.
So I got the name. I mean, I've wondered since we started chatting. I've wondered where the name came from.
Do you want the exciting version or the one we've built?
They go together.
Okay. It's not exciting. There's nothing exciting. The initial when we were starting to talk about putting the band together in 2014, we kind of like the general Americana vibe and things that kind of brought your brain to that. So we were thinking coal mining and all these things, and it came down to like canaries in the coal mine, and then we kicked around a lot of ideas that were either taken or a little weird, and then we kind of landed at that. So the band...
The website was available.
The
so
website,
that helps.
Facebook had that page. So there's all those things that you check the boxes of. And when we started, we've kind of built it into to explain it a little bit. People get confused because there's 2 of us.
Right.
And that's one of the main things we always get. Well, there's 2 of you. It says Lone Canary, not Canaries. The band.
It's an image, the band.
The band is the Canary. The way I like explaining it is that I was playing solo for a few years before we joined up, and I was at that point very frustrated with music scene, frustrated with how things were going. I was kind of ready to get out of it. Heather suggested playing together, and so the band was kind of the canary in the coal mine in the sense of saying, if this dies, I think I'm like, at the time I'm done with all this, you know. So it's like if the canary doesn't make it,
Yeah.
So the band as a whole was kind of the vision of the canary, and the music scene is poisonous and terrible. No, I'm just kidding.
He used to be an emo kid, if you don't get that from
if you
that
can't,
conversation.
We're all of my songs are downers. But yeah, that's kind of the overarching idea of the name. Yeah.
So what I think is interesting about the name, what I really like about it is the fact that it makes you think.
Yeah.
Like when somebody's like, well, how many, there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
And it's Lone Canary. So I love it because it's, anytime someone looks at it, they have to do a double take and be like, what is it? And then it helps them remember the name and you guys. So thank you guys for coming in. We are going to perform a couple songs after this interview.
Mm-hmm.
And first off, I want to chat about like your timeline. So you started in 2014. You started solo in 2014.
I started solo several years before that. I was going by
Like 2000
Briar Hill for a little bit, and then just by my name, Jesse Fox.
2009.
Yeah,
Ish.
and then
I would join in every once in a while. We had a brief stint of playing shows at Potbelly Sandwiches.
Yeah. Oh, up on the thing.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got fired.
Do they still do that?
Got fired.
No.
No, they
I
don't.
don't think they do.
I think we were one of the last ones at least in Rockford,
Yeah.
that did it.
I played the djembe.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was very cool.
Yeah, we had a lot of iterations.
Here's
But-
what I want to know.
Yeah.
Did you get free sandwiches?
We got a
Half off?
free sandwich.
One free sandwich that
Wow.
we shared.
That we shared.
Chips or anything?
I don't know really.
That's-
no,
geez,
they got
tight.
mad that we got tips also, which is part of why they fired us. And then the sandwich people didn't make tips, so it was a conversation.
Anyway.
It's fine. Potbelly, we'll figure it
We
out
love
later.
you.
No,
Yeah.
we don't.
Okay.
It's a
We'll figure
bummer
it
they
out.
don't do that anymore. That's a cool. I mean, get a sandwich, watch some music. I don't know.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I like the idea, but I'm sure it'd be hard to continue that.
yeah.
But we grew up together. My dad was his guitar teacher. We were just a couple blocks away from each other, and so we knew each other. But like late high school, we became more of friends.
Yeah.
We
were
and we
playing
played in our church band together. So I mean, off and on over the years, it's probably been 25 years
Yeah.
of playing. But the Lone Canary started in 2014.
Yep.
So this is interesting. You guys have known each other for that entire time.
Mm-hmm.
When was it for you, Heather, where you're like, I want to do this with you? Or when were you like, hey, come, let's just do this together as a band?
Well, he kind of he would bring it up every so often. Just I would play with him. I don't know, every here and there. And so then he's like, "Do you want to play again? Do you want to play some more?" And I was like, "No." I mean, we had both just gotten married, and so there was just a lot going on. And so
Two other people.
Yeah.
For those who we're not married together.
So it just took me a while to, and I always kind of like to protect the music in my life. Like it was always like my favorite thing ever in my life was just singing and playing music. And so it scared me to kind of take it public, to be in a band. It had been a while since I'd been in a band, and I didn't want it to just become the thing that I like didn't want to do,
Right,
you know?
yeah.
But we worked it out, and it's like, all right, well, we'll try it and
I
see
was
how it goes.
starting the conversation, starting recording with a guy in town, Mickey Rosenquist in Rockford. And in that moment, we were kind of in the midst of talking about joining together. And so I think we had maybe even started recording, or at least started the process of talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she jumped in right before we started recording. And so like we were trying to figure out what the band was, how we sounded, what we're going for all together, kind of in the recording studio, which took a lot longer than Mickey, I think,
Bless
was
Mickey's
hoping.
heart. Yeah.
But it
I
took us a
played
little while.
keyboard at the time and very little bit of violin, but mostly keyboard. So it took us a few years to kind of find our groove, our vibe with like, am I going to play percussion? Am I doing, whatever? That took a little while to kind of
So
sort through.
Did you have violin in your bag before, or did you pick it up for this?
Yeah, no, I learned traditional violin. I started when I was 10 and took private lessons and played kind of through high school. I was in a very Dave Matthews-y type band for a little while. It was late 90s, so that works.
Jam band.
Perfect time.
And then after high school, I kind of put it down and just played, if my parents wanted me to or whatever, played off and on. But then, I just kind of picked it back up, and it took me a little bit to kind of get back into it.
I think the first year it was mostly you playing keys.
It was mostly just keys.
Until we figured out like, let's just swing it towards
this keyboard's real heavy, so
yeah. How do we lighten the load?
Well, when I was researching you guys, and not stalking, researching,
you can stalk. It's fine.
I can tell you what really spoke to me was the violin, first of all, because that's kind of a rootsy thing, and the harmonies. I mean, the harmonies are killer. And my question was, how long did it take you guys to figure out the blend? Like, are you the type where you can pick up that harmony, and because you're doing harmonies for her also, so it's a little back and forth.
I would say I am not a natural vocalist. I think I started singing a long time ago because I needed to play, or I needed someone to sing the songs I was writing, and I didn't have. So I was writing. I would always write and then play guitar, and then I was like, well, I guess I need to sing now. So I was never like interested in singing initially or good at it, and once Heather came in, she's much better vocalist than I am. So I've learned to sing with her very well.
Specifically with harmonies, it's my favorite thing to do. And so like if I could, like what I would choose to be is like some background singer for like a really famous person. And not that I don't love what we're doing. Yeah, Jesse is that famous person.
You're just waiting for me to get
but like
famous.
I'm just saying backup vocals and harmonies, that's like my jam. And so when we started, that was more the role that I took, was just kind of like I'll support you vocally, and he's like, no, you should sing more, and I'm like, okay.
Well, the song 13, which you guys will do later, how you go back and forth, that's incredible. And the harmony thing, like you said, any person I know that is really good at harmonies, that's their favorite part, which is interesting to hear you say that, because I feel like that's what they all say. Me, on the other hand, can barely figure it out unless I like overdub something, then it's fine. But on the spot or like in a room and just working it out, that's really special. And the fact that you guys can both do it.
Yeah. Most of the stuff that I tend to learn and do is built off of muscle memory. I don't always hear it right away. And we'll kind of run through it a lot until it's like, okay, I think I'm getting it. I'm hearing it. And
I grew up in a very kind of Partridge family situation. Like we were very often just kind of singing and messing around, or we'll pick up and jam on instruments and stuff. So it was just very much ingrained in my whole life.
Did you do choir?
So I did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That I feel like everybody says that.
And
too,
I'm an
like
alto, so you just always do
Yeah.
the harmony of it. So yeah, so it's fun.
So 2014 is when it kind of became official. Then right away, you guys went in and did can I say acoustic, or was it more like a stripped down album, which is self-titled, The Lone Canary?
Yeah, it is
full band.
but it is not as built out as several other
Right.
albums.
Right.
So we were kind of in that weird, like, I want to keep it acoustic, and this happens pretty much
Happens every
every
time.
every album we put out. Like, we're gonna do an acoustic album because that's how we play together. It's always just that, and then it always builds somehow. So like that album specifically, it started kind of there and then built slowly, and then I think we cut it off at some point after it was like months of recording.
It was months of recording.
Yeah.
So you did the 2015 one, and then a couple EPs in between, some holiday stuff.
Yep.
And then you had your second full-length album in 2018?
2020.
2020.
We had our album release show February of 2020 and had a great year planned, and then COVID hit.
nailed us.
And kind of, came to a screeching halt, as it did for every band, everywhere, basically. And, but yeah, I love that album. It's a great album.
We're talking about Leave the Gray.
Yeah.
And when I did some research, Leave the Gray, I feel like you really developed, like, that first album was great. That Leave the Gray is where I'm like, all right, I get what they're doing.
Yeah.
I can get the sound. I understand it. It's really prominent. And I noticed, like, on Spotify and everything, that's all. A lot of those songs are in the top streams. So super cool. So that was your second full length, and then your new one, which just came out in September. Dime Store Horses.
Yep.
Super cool.
Thank you.
And I wanted to just say this and let you guys talk, but the production is it's different.
Yeah.
And don't kill me for this, but I got like War on Drugs vibes.
Oh yeah, I love them.
Very nice.
I've only listened to them a little bit after the album has come out, but yeah, very much in that vein. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a full production. So like if you were to play that out in that way, what kind of instrumentation would you need for that?
We've done it a couple times.
Yeah.
We have some friends who've jumped in to create a full band. So we have us, obviously, and then we have electric guitar, bass, and drums.
We've been talking about adding keys because we have a lot of keys in this album.
There is
too.
a lot of keys.
And
like MIDI stuff in there. And it was a lot of fun.
It's always interesting too, because in the recording studio, and this one specifically, we kind of did the most self-production on this album that we've ever done. So we recorded engineering, recording. We had a buddy come in to help us kind of like learn the ropes, and then kind of shove the boat off and let us figure it out. And that was a wild run for us too. It took forever, but it helped us kind of just get in our heads, which sometimes we're just like, oh, we're too much in here. But like, pick apart the songs, figure out what needs to go in. We can play several instruments, so it helps kind of like piece things together.
Did you play the drums?
No, that's one thing we did not do. Jimmy Martinet did, but a friend of ours, and that's one thing I appreciate drummers because I am not a drummer.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else pretty much we did other than bass, right?
And some electric guitar.
Yeah.
Was
John
Martinet. And then you did some as well.
Yeah.
So for that album, was there another a producer on top of what you were doing?
That was just us. John Martinet is the guy who kind of helped us learn the ropes, and then he did a little bit of editing after the fact for us. Just get things really, a lot. But like to get it really crisp and clean sounding instead of feeling like too live, which we want somewhere in the middle like that. So he did a lot of that kind of secondary editing. But as far as production goes, we kind of made most of the calls and decided what to do with it.
How about mixing, mastering?
Mixing, mastering went to Phil Schawel. I can never say his last name.
He says no one says it right.
Yeah.
So.
But mixing, mastering was his friend Zach. But that was a whole nother step too, because it was kind of a jump up from what we've been used to, and he's had his hands in a lot of really cool projects. But this one just gave us a little extra sparkle, extra depth to what we were going for. So.
Yeah, I really can't talk about this enough because I love the fact that you moved on from, not that there was anything wrong with 2020 album, but the fact that you're evolving as a band and like finding more sounds and deeper sounds, and you can always pull it back. And in fact,
Mm-hmm.
aren't you going to do an EP of like a stripped down version of Dinosaur Horses?
Yeah, so Dime Store Horses, the way I think we intend to play it in a little bit here is going to be how that EP is going to reimagine it. So we have an EP coming out, like you said, Dime Store Horses with the album we put out in September. We're doing in spring, we're going to call it Nickel Store Ponies. So half the album, 5 songs. And we're reimagining some of those into more, I wouldn't say fully acoustic, but like a lot more stripped back, calmed down versions of some of the songs.
Yeah,
So.
it's fun, and it's probably 75%.
Yeah, it's almost
recorded.
there. We got to
the recording part's almost done.
So for the song Dime Store Horses, tell me about how that came together and what's the meaning behind it?
Yeah.
Who wrote
That's
it?
you.
So I wrote the song, and that one was. I feel like most of the ones that I struggle with are. That
one
one
took
was the
us a
last one.
while,
Yeah, that was
and
the
that
last one I
had-
wrote on the album.
It had probably the most evolution to it from
Yes, it
a
did.
couple years ago to where it is now.
We had weirdly enough, we had the name of the album well before the song, and so it was just one of those things. Like I know I need to write a song like this. The album came from a friend of mine who was talking about how insane his life was, but he just felt like he kept pushing forward to do stuff, but he just feels like he was stuck in the same spot forever. And I feel like that really resonated with us musically. I was just like, we've been playing, for years together, and it always feels like, why aren't we getting somewhere? And I'm sure every band feels that way, every musician feels that way. And it just was one of those things like, I feel like I need to write something about this. As a whole, it kind of felt like the umbrella was there for naming the album that. And then it turned into, okay, let's just sit down and write the song. And it took a while to get it out and feel comfortable with where I was writing the words. But it's about that, just feeling kind of stuck with where you're at. You've been
So was
pushing
it
hard.
the first song of that album as a concept, or was it the last one, or just in the middle somewhere?
It was the last one. I
Yeah,
think.
the absolute last one. I literally was pushing it off as much as I could because we had all these other songs that were coming out a little bit more naturally, and then Dime Store Horses. And this is part of why I think we came up with the idea to release it in the next album or the EP we're going to put out, is because it took so many variations along the way of writing the song that I was like, I also feel like there's something in here that it built into more almost pop than we ever write. It built into a little bit more energy, a lot of that stuff. So I was like, I feel like there's a song in here still that I didn't like pull out yet. And so we're kind of reimagining that way.
So for the writing process, do you both come up with ideas, text each other, I'm sure, and say, do you like this riff or do you like how this sounds?
Little sound clips. Yeah. I tend to start with the music side. I'll either have like a riff or
Melody.
a hook or like a melody, chorus, whatever. Words are like the last thing that that I put together. And he's the opposite, so it kind of works out well.
Yeah. Usually I'm married with 3 daughters, and and you're busy with everything else. We have businesses we run separately. So this is kind of almost a side gig where we just try to make time for it when we can. And so most of our writing is on the road. Like we do like one major tour a year, and then a lot of like little micro things for the weekend. And pretty much most of the writing we do is while we're on the road because we just have busy lives otherwise. And so we do that. Basically, we'll try to bring all of our pieces we've kind of messed with over the months, and then we'll try to sculpt songs out of them over the little micro bits of time we have on the road. So
I like that you brought up the fact that the 2 different styles of writing, because personally, I think lyrics and melody go last because then you can figure out how to fit it on top of everything.
Yeah.
But then I've worked with people that are lyricists first, and then that's kind of where they start. And it's nice, actually, very complimentary to have both working together with you guys because you're not doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to point out, I had sent you an email on this because as I listened to Dime Store Horses, I was really intrigued by how you guys, and I'm not going to say this right, but you delay. And if you know what I'm talking about, you delay the chord changes with the melodic changes back and forth. So there's like this syncopation push and pull where you're hitting the chord that you're going to land on melodically before that comes, and vice versa. And I was loving that because that is something that like not a lot of people know, like a regular listener, but their brain knows that that's interesting.
Yeah.
So they're not thinking about it, but it's happening. And the fact that you guys like thought, I assume it wasn't on accident. Like you meant to do that.
It might have been.
I think there's a feel. I mean, never sat down and talked about doing that in intentionality, but I think we've been playing so long together that there's certain feels that we're going for, and those things like pop out in the moment. And like we do talk about some of those, like let's wait on these words to say here, this chord's
Create
here.
some space or a breath here.
I think that's one thing that I've appreciated also writing together, because this last album we wrote very strongly together. This one was definitely fully together, and I think when we're doing all that stuff, I have been learning to pull back on writing words fully until we're getting somewhere with it, then we sculpt it together. And I think
Or simplifying things.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I used to scribble so many like lyrics and just try to squeeze it into a song, and it never made sense, you know. And I think that helped in those regards to say like, okay, we have these chord structures and this feel and what we want to do, and the timing of these words need to land here to like hit the feel that we're going for.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that came out a lot in this album too. So
Yeah, I enjoy that. And alternatively, like if you were to had written that song where everything lands right on the chord change,
yeah,
anybody would notice that if you compared the two next to each other. But like it's so subtle that it gets the brain moving, and it kind of gets that sway going. So that is awesome. Let's talk about touring. So you guys generally play Midwest most of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of stick around.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin, and usually we try to dip down to Southern Illinois a little bit, but we used to go down to Nashville a little bit more. But we've had struggles with that, with COVID that closed a lot of places and the tornadoes that happened. Like so, we lost several contacts that way. But mostly Wisconsin, kind of Michigan, Minnesota. Sorry, not Michigan.
We haven't been to Michigan yet.
No, we were
we
trying
should
to.
do that.
Yeah.
There you go, Michigan peeps.
Yeah.
Hit them up.
Well, I don't know.
I will put all your contact info in the post. So do you go beyond Midwest ever? Or do you plan to?
Yeah, the last couple of years we've gone east, southeast, like Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia, and it's been fun. They receive us well, which is always nice.
Yeah.
But like you said, we used to do a lot of Kentucky, Tennessee, which has been fun as well. But we're just trying to kind of throw the dart in some different areas and see what lands well and who likes us. And
this year we're trying to head out more west. We're trying to sort out the pathway right now because of certain booking things. We do our own booking so that
it's great. It's a lot of fun.
The worst part of the job.
Right.
But our very first tour that we did years ago was out into Colorado and back, and that went terribly.
It was terrible.
We didn't know what we were doing. We still don't really know what we're doing. We know a little bit more, but so we're thinking we hadn't gone back that way in a long time. So this year we're kind of swinging north and maybe getting on Montana, coming down to Colorado. We're figuring
You'll
it out.
have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah,
it should be hopefully posted sooner.
Would you do that probably in the summer, I take it?
Yeah, it's like August into September.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's coming up 2026? So you have the album just came out. You're going to obviously play on that for a while. You have your new EP coming out.
Yep.
Anything else on the horizon that you're going after that you're looking at?
I think right now what we just talked about earlier is honestly starting to write for the next album again, which feels insane because we just put this out.
But it takes us a while.
Yeah, we don't want to wait like 5 years to put another album out. So it's just trying to find those moments to like keep chiseling away
As
at
far
that.
as far as shows go, it's a pretty quiet time of year right now. We're working on booking now for spring through the end of the year. So we have a show in Madison in February that should be on our website, I believe.
Well,
It will be.
Where's
by
that
the time at the Madison Concourse Hotel. We're going to play at the bar there. So
cool.
That's February 20th, I believe. And then I don't know what we have after that.
We have a lot of Wisconsin stuff coming up.
Some
and a few
weekend
other-
trips. Yeah. Wisconsin, Minnesota.
So we will hopefully have that posted pretty soon, so you can keep an eye and mark the calendar.
You can find us.
Right. Find you.
Yeah.
Some rapid fire questions I like to do with people. Just don't think about it too much.
Yes.
Worst gig.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
the one that shut off, or you have?
well, that was Minneapolis. The one in where Rodney was with us, and they didn't pay us what they said they were going to pay us, and there was no one there, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. We were promised, at least
Another
X
$100
guarantee, and nobody was there, and then they didn't pay us after that. So I was like, cool, that was fun.
It was great.
Another one we had one that was in Minnesota, right?
Well, yeah,
Out that way. But they
so many.
they literally turned off the system on us while we were mid song,
and said we're done.
and I was like, what? And those are one of those weird ones where you're like, I don't think it was going bad. We brought people
No, it
in
was
weirdly
fine.
enough,
Yeah.
and they were just done for the night. And it's just what
You'll never forget it. You probably
Yeah.
you're probably not going to go back. I take it.
no, not to that one.
Not there. No.
Did you have another one?
There's so many.
Okay.
Oh, there's so many.
We can
So
move
many.
on. We can move on.
Well, hey, good for you not mentioning names because that'll help in
I
case someday maybe you do want to go back, or maybe you're supporting like another band, they wouldn't need to go there. I don't
Right.
know. How about any other road stories? Anything that's broke down? Any interesting thing that has happened that's kind of baked into your memory?
We almost got a dog last year.
oh,
We had
was
a,
that
we,
just last year?
Yeah, we were driving through Wisconsin, maybe 2 years
Up
ago,
in like Eagle River area.
and there's a cute little blue pit bull that was on the side of the road that
She was so
apparently escaped from their owners, but we were
Their
trying
cabin.
to find them forever, and we had to go to the next gig, and we're like, this dog's going to be our mascot for the year, forever. And
right
then,
before we put her in the car,
yeah.
they ended up calling to come and get her.
yeah,
was
but
too bad.
sweet dog.
Well, you know the name, right? Canary.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna say that unless he had something.
What, was there another one on the table?
No.
I was like, I don't remember her name.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be appropriate, but I guess
Yeah.
it'd be too obvious.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, she could run around gigs while you're
Cute dog.
playing.
I was very sad that we had to bring it back to the owner. But, I mean, we've been pretty lucky though on the road. We haven't really had many breakdowns. We had one that I had to get my car checked, but it was a quick thing.
We had a rental out in Colorado, and we were going up into the mountains, and I thought the car wasn't going to make it.
Yeah,
But
there's one of
it was
those,
revving up
it was
pretty high, but-
questionable.
But we made it.
How about pre-show rituals? Same socks.
No, we can't chill for too long. Sometimes you're like in a green room or something, and you have to wait so long. That like messes with us more than just like, let's just get up and play. Because then
Yeah.
you have to like think about it,
Right.
ruminate over the upcoming show. So that, I don't like doing that. But no, we're pretty chill as
Yeah.
far as pre-show
Couple drinks,
stuff.
hang out,
Couple drinks, not
ready to
too
go.
many. We've had a couple of those shows. That's not fun either.
It's
It's that fine balance.
Very
there.
fine line.
We
Yeah.
learned early on that we need to pull back.
Yes.
Tell me about a song that is really important, and you guys can each answer separately. Important to you emotionally, like it's something that maybe really came from a personal space, and why. So, any song that you've ever written, whether it's on an album or not.
I'll go first while you think.
ahead.
I would say more on this newer album, Dime Store Horses. There's a song called "Something Real." That one probably hit. That one also took a little bit to write. I was in the middle of a little bit of depression last year and things like that, and it was just kind of weird mental chaos and things. And that song kind of just was stemmed from that. So I think it was a lot of processing, a lot of thoughts going on, and I love the song. I think it pulled a lot of something in me that I was just like dealing with in the moment, and a lot of times I lean into storytelling. That one was definitely just kind of out from me. So,
And
personal.
when you play it, does it pull that emotion?
oh
back
yeah,
up?
we wrote it on the road 2 years ago, last year, 2 years ago, and the first 3 months of playing it out, I couldn't finish it. Like it was so frustrating to me because it was like I
And he's not
actually
a
love
crier.
this song.
He's not a crier.
but like halfway through, right, it just like would hit me, and I could not get the words out. And it
Power
was just
music.
yeah. So I think that one, it just has like a special place for me. That was like I can play it now, which is nice. But every once in a while, it's just like stop it.
How about Heather?
I think for me, off of our Leave the Gray album is the song Leave the Gray. I wrote that kind of with the mindset of to leave the gray is to the kind of the mundaneness of life, the road or path that everyone tells you should do, you know, to get through life. You know, you have these certain steps. And so that song was kind of a reaction to that, saying, no, you don't have to do X, Y, Z. You don't have to think this way, look this way, behave, or have these certain life steps. And so that was the grayness of life. And so to step out of that and to just create your own path is where that came from. So that's
Beautiful.
always one of my favorites that we do.
Great. I love the fact that you have these stories behind them, because a lot of the listeners probably wouldn't know other than the lyrics that you put out, and they interpret them themselves, but it's nice to hear
Yeah.
Which is also a great thing, though. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of
the art of it.
what you are
Yeah.
hoping for, that they can cling to it in a way that's meaningful to them from a certain story or trauma or whatever, that it can sit with them and be with them in that as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to play 13 and Dime Store Horses. which I'll get out in succession, so I'll probably do one and then the other. Anything else you want to share before we go?
No, this is an awesome place. Yeah, thank you for
this is
having
great.
us. Yeah,
thank you
pretty much
for coming.
everything we're looking forward to is stuff we talked about, tours and music coming out. And
We're everywhere online, so
yeah.
you can find us.
if you want to host a house show, shoot us a message. We do that.
Yes, those are fun.
But
Private
yeah.
parties?
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you for having us. This was
Yes.
awesome.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, cut. So I'm going to do an intro here.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you can just